Okay, so fellas, final subject of the night. And it is probably going to be the most interesting one we discuss. And I'm sure all of our listeners are aware of the situation with Lil Nas X. So Lil Nas X is a, I guess, pop slash rap star. I don't know what his technical
He calls himself a
classification
country
is.
rapper,
Okay,
Right,
supposedly.
country
yeah, he's a country
rapper.
rapper.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what he
and
calls
he
himself.
just recently released a very controversial video to one of his latest songs. And so the official question is, what are your thoughts on the video? And for those of you who haven't seen it, we will place a link at the bottom of the session when we place the session out so that you can go and take a look at it. Or if not, you can also go on YouTube and check it out. But he has just recently released, and I forget what the name of the song is.
Montero.
Yes, Montero, thank you. And then it's Montero, and then Call Me By Your Name is in parentheses.
Right,
And
in
it's a
parentheses. Yeah,
song,
call me by.
yeah, by
It
Lil
sounds
Nas X.
very nasty.
So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this question to Mr. PAT to start us off. What say you, sir? What are your thoughts on his video?
My thoughts on his video is, unfortunately, I can't unsee what I saw.
Damn.
I mean, plain and simple. I can't unsee it. I initially heard about it a couple days ago or so, whatever. And I don't pay attention to him. I don't listen to his music. I don't really fuck with a lot of the music of today's generation, just being real. So somebody like a Lil Nas X, I wasn't given that much energy. I didn't really think too much of it. But then people, of course, kept talking about it online. They kept talking about this video and how it's satanic and all this other stuff. So I said, all right, let me check it out. Let me see what all the talk in the Matrix is about. So it was basically 3 minutes and 10 seconds of my life gone down the drain. I think the imagery was atrocious. It was just absolutely atrocious. That's just really how I can describe it. Now, what I will say is I'm not a religious person. I'm not a religious person by any means, but the satanic imagery was definitely blatant. I think it was a bit much. However, I'm not going to focus much on the religious aspect of it. I'm sure there's enough Christians out there who've seen it and are going crazy and have things to say. So really, they can take that angle. I'll just say this. I think, and this will be a controversial statement, but hey, that's what we're here for, right? It's just more buck breaking. It's Hollywood doing Hollywood things.
I agree.
Hollywood loves buck broken Negroes.
I agree.
A black man who will wear a dress or engage in homosexual activity openly
He
on
already called
camera.
himself gay, so he's already open.
It fits when they engage in that openly on camera. Really, it just fits right in with today's paradigm. It falls into the agenda to emasculate black men. And let me make something very clear. I personally don't care how other adults choose to live their life or the choices that they make. I don't care. I don't spend my time thinking about what other people do, what other men do with other men, or what other women do with other women. I don't give that much energy. I say as long as it doesn't involve harming kids or they're committing heinous acts of crime, the choices that people make in their lives, that is on them. So I don't care about what people do behind closed doors. Who people choose to sleep with behind closed doors, it is totally on them. I don't care about any of that. So at the end of the day, it's not my life. So, you know, why would I care? It's not my life, it's theirs. So I just wanted to put that out there because, of course, you put out any criticism, you put out certain criticisms, people want to come at you a certain way. I'm gonna just say what I want to say, and I'm gonna just put it out simple and plain. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna speak on what I see and give my views on certain things. And those certain things are things that play into Black emasculation. The system of white supremacy is all about Black emasculation. The
Right.
system of white supremacy went from buck breaking Black men on slave farms to buck breaking Black men through the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
One form of buck breaking was done by force, and another form of buck breaking is done simply through the promotion of eunuchs. So for those who don't know what a eunuch is a castrated man. The dictionary also defines a eunuch as one that lacks virility or power. There were times throughout history, and I'm not going to go into a whole history lesson about it. As we all know, everyone has Google, but there were times throughout history where enslaved Black men were castrated, and the ones who survived the castration were paraded around by their owners. These eunuchs were described as neutral, non-threatening, and non-gendered. So when we look at someone like a Lil Nas X, metaphorically speaking, I think he can be considered a eunuch, whether it be the Black men who have worn a dress or outright dressed in drag in entertainment, or the Black homosexuals within the entertainment industry. They will be elevated. They will be elevated because, one, they don't pose a threat to the system of white supremacy, and two, it is a way to promote to young Black boys that being effeminate will get them far in life. So to just really wrap it all up, the system of white supremacy used to castrate Black men literally, but now the system of white supremacy has figured out how to castrate Black men figuratively. Lil Nas X video is really just one in many ways to help promote the emasculation agenda. Mm-hmm. Of course, that video, it's not the end all be all, and it wasn't the first, and it won't be the last. I really just watched the video just to see what all the talk in the Matrix was about. Other than that, honestly, I couldn't care less about dude. I don't care about his lifestyle or what he does behind closed doors. None of that's my business. As always, what I say is this isn't personal, it's business. And I'm in the business of being real. I'm not gonna censor what I say. Like, I'm just gonna say what needs to be said. Of course, people will agree, and then there's gonna be people who disagree. Now, if one doesn't understand and overstand what is going on, then there will be confusion. I'm not the least bit confused about what's going on. I know what's up. So I said what I said. So if anyone out there disagrees, fine, but don't at me. Don't at me about it. That's that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it to you, Mr. E-Man. But say.
Yeah. So I just found out Lil Nas like X is like his age. So he's just 21 years old. I just feel, you know, this child, I will call him a child, you know. And he might be, you know, an adult, but he's still a child, you know. Because when he's 21, you know, I don't know when I don't listen to the kid and whatnot, you know. I am way much older than him, you know. And, you know, and his music don't resonate me because we're on a different time flux and whatnot, you know. You know, because I have at least 10 years, like I have a decade over him and whatnot, you know. Like I got a decade over him, and we all do. But PAT stated everything. I definitely agree with him. The only thing I'm just gonna add to just end my point from right here is that child just he just needs help, like physical and mentally help, because the industry has really destroyed this kid in my eyes. I don't even listen to him. So I'm just letting people know I don't even listen to him. But what I see and what's going on, like this behavior is very sickening in my eyes. And it's not going to stop, but we need it to stop, like we just need it to stop. And to close out on my point, I just feel his ass just needs to get his shit together, because I watched the video. That shit was beyond sickening. Beyond sickening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very sickening.
Beyond. You know what I'm saying? This is a 21-year-old kid. And I know we talked about, parents being parents, making sure, the kid's not watching this. But 13-year-olds and up, and I don't even want to say about 10, they know who this guy is. I don't. I don't. But that sick shit that you think you're doing, that it's doing something, that's that's the whole thing. What's the other dude what's his name? Is it the dude the dude who said that Birdman fucked him and whatnot over the deal? What's his name? I don't even know his name.
What?
I think what's his name?
Hold on, Birdman. Like, what?
The one that
he works. He's on Cash Money. I keep forgetting the dude. He got like dreadlocks. He wears like skinny jeans. What's that dude's name?
Yeah, I mean, you're not talking about Wayne or somebody else. Is
it Young something? It's like Young. Is it Young Thug?
Or Young Thug?
Young Thug?
Young Thug used to work for Cash Money, but what are you saying about Young Thug used to be on Cash Money.
So
he was accused of shooting at
Young
Wayne.
Thug, so there was, I'm gonna say allegedly, but he went on camera, and he said, he got back broken by Baby and whatnot. He said that
I don't
Baby
think
on
that
camera
was
and
Young
whatnot,
Thug.
allegedly.
Let's just make
but
let me throw that disclaimer out there.
I don't even know, because I don't.
Yeah,
but,
no. So we might not.
It's just revolving
this.
door. It's just this revolving door, and that's it. And just by me sharing that, just shows you I don't listen to these fools and whatnot. This is how sick shit's getting now, because and here comes the thing. He's not even gonna hold himself to the actions of the stuff that he just put out and whatnot. I just heard about something, Nike, I think him and Nike put out a shoe and whatnot. So supposedly, something's going on with the shoe and whatnot that supposedly, it has real human blood in the shoe based upon reports that I heard.
Oh, but, wow.
Yeah, it's just all these weird things. So I'm like, yeah, I just read about this.
I doubt it that would get approved by any kind of governing organization.
I'd be like,
you never know.
You just never know. And this is the same shit and whatnot, because I heard about him coming out openly gay. That didn't bother me because it's not hurting me. But like, what else? It's just, what? I'm gonna just end my point from there. I'm just speechless. Now, Angel, let's close out on you. I'm done talking about this sick stuff. I'm just done. I'm done.
Okay. So just want to, before I dive in, just want to throw this out there just in case, in this previous conversation that we, mentioned the wrong name. We are not alleging that Young Thug or any specific rapper made those claims. We are simply having a discussion about this topic. And Eman, I got the point that you were trying to make, that there have been accusations against Baby about inappropriate behavior. So let me say this in regards to my view on the matter. This for me is very simple. This all goes back to the issue of who parents are allowing to raise their children. It should be them who are raising their children, not any other celebrity, including Lil Nas X. I mean, the hook of this new song literally references doing cocaine and drinking. That should be a red flag that this is not a song for children. So for those who are making the argument, well, my son or daughter, etc., looked up to Lil Nas X because they liked Old Town Road. Okay, in Old Town Road, he literally has a line where he say, "Lean all in my bladder." Okay, you know what you're listening to. Know what you're exposing your children to. It's your responsibility to do that, not his. He is not your child's role model, or he should not be. And it doesn't have anything to do, in my opinion, about whether he's gay, straight, or otherwise. It should be about the fact that he is a celebrity, and you as an individual has the responsibility to parent your child. With that said, Lil Nas X specifically said he blatantly put this material out because of Christians and their hypocrisies. Christians who were damning him to go to hell just because he was gay. He specifically made this video to offend them. He said something along those lines on his Twitter.
Oh, so okay? He's trolling basically.
He was exactly. He purposely made, and you know what? I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, Christians, and not just Christians, but religious zealots in general, are some of the biggest hypocrites walking this earth. They pick and choose what to be a zealot about. They pick and choose what to take up in arms. How is nobody crying about the fact that it's technically a sin to wear two different types of fabrics?
That is true.
The shit is ridiculous. At the end of the day, his life choices are his life choices, and no one has the right to infringe on anyone for their life choices. He purposely made this video to offend all of those religious zealots who were damning him to hell because he's gay. First of all, one of the biggest things about religion is that a lot of them foundationally have the principle of the higher power is the person that people have to face when they go on. So if you are acknowledging that there is a higher power that people are going to stand judgment to, how the hell are you down here judging those people? You're not the higher power. It's hypocritical. It doesn't make any sense. For me, and I preface this with saying I'm not knocking any specific person's religion. Everyone has the right to believe in whatever they want to. I am not knocking Christianity from any specific standpoint or any other religion. What I'm saying is, and I'm a person who is spiritual, I am not religious, so this is of course my viewpoint, but my thing is, how can you sit around and judge when the core foundation of your belief is that you are all going to ascend to a higher power who is going to judge you? Then you shouldn't be judging people while you're on this earth. Not to a certain extent. He purposely released this video because of those people. Now, I'm gonna keep shit a buck because you know that's what I do. You fellas know that. I don't like his music. I didn't like Old Town Road. I don't like this song. It's not because he's gay. It's because the songs suck. It's that simple.
Yep, I agree.
I love Sam Smith. I love a number of different gay artists. It doesn't have anything to do with his sexuality. That is not my
Frank
business.
Ocean is dope
and I
too.
do not judge others. I don't like his music.
Yeah.
Period. The songs suck. Yeah. But do I respect his choice to say, I'm going to make a video the way that I want to make it, and especially because he was purposely intending to get a point across, then I respect that choice of his. I respect his choice to do that, because at the end of the day, his entire point, just like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi and all of the other folks, is that I am not supposed to be your child's role model. You are supposed to be your child's role model. If you think that offensive and inappropriate behavior is going to stop with Lil Nas X, you've lost your damn mind. You can't control what everyone does in this world, but you can control how your children are exposed to it. Lil Nas X is not the first person to behave in a way that people felt was inappropriate. And let's not even get on the subject, like I mentioned last time with the Megan and Cardi conversation, that nobody has a fucking thing to say when Ozzy Osbourne bites the head off a bat on stage, right? When Madonna and Britney Spears are kissing and making, doing whatever, right?
There it goes.
It's always the Black people. The world is about to come to a fucking end, but somehow all of these other people that's doing all of this crazy shit, oh, that's just the artist they are. Well, that's the artist that Lil Nas X is. If you don't like his content, you don't have to support or watch it.
I agree, and this is what's true. So can we end on this and just say, can we just let all hoes be hoes?
Right.
Or, like Willie D says it, let a hoe be a hoe.
Let all hoes be hoes. That's the principle you want us to. You're so crazy.
Real quick before we even end it, there is something quick I do want to address in regards to this whole Lil Nas X situation. So on social media, I posted, the only Nas I acknowledge is Nasir Jones.
Yes,
now,
I
I posted that on my main page, and I posted that in a Facebook group. So I just posted it, and I mean it's pretty simple and straightforward, but you really just have a bunch of clowns online trying to, I guess, quote unquote, drag me for posting that. The fact of the matter is, I posted what I posted, and I said what I said. I'm not gonna back down from what I posted. What's funny to me is that people see that post and they automatically want to go to, he's a bigot, he's a homophobic, blah blah blah. When I didn't even say anything about this man's sexuality. I never made any specific references.
Too much.
I never said anything about that. That's but right. They see a comment, a fucking sentence where it says, the only Nas I acknowledge is Nasir Jones. They automatically jump to the conclusion that, I'm making a homophobic statement or whatever. What if I just don't like his fucking music? What if that's what I'm saying? What if I'm saying
right.
Nas what if I'm saying I like Nas better than Lil Nas X because Nas is just a better artist? They don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but they saw that statement and they're just making all these comments. I haven't even addressed it, and I'm not going to. I'm just gonna leave the post, and I'm seeing the replies, and I just laugh, honestly, because I think it's funny. I just think it's funny how they see that and they jump to these conclusions. So whoever these people are, they can keep saying what they want to say in the comment section. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I posted what I posted, and it is what it is.
It's so crazy like when you say that, BAT. You know what song that came up in my mind?
Go ahead.
You hate me now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you can hate me now.
And the thing is, the reality of it is that the entire point of equality is that you're getting equality, good or bad. I can hate you as much as I hate someone else, and it don't have anything to do with your sexuality. You just not my cup of tea. And it's the same thing with love. I can love you like I love anyone else, and it doesn't have anything to do with sexuality or race or whatever. You're just not my cup of tea, which is totally fathomable. I think people are offended in this situation because a lot of them do know that Lil Nas X purposely released this video to offend the Christian community because they were trying to damn him because of his sexuality. And so I think people are, overly defensive at this time. I understand where their frustrations lie, especially for folks who have experienced this. You know, you can't just automatically jump to, oh, he's a bigot or any of this. But yeah, just to wrap it up, what I was saying is, I definitely understand where you're coming from, Pat. You know, people will jump to, oh, he must be a bigot just because you've said something related to a subject, and in that moment they're feeling overly defensive. Do I understand that that group, as far as, you know, the LGBTQ community, definitely faces inequalities and etc.? Of course they do, but that doesn't mean that every time someone disagrees with a viewpoint that they are a bigot. I think that is counterproductive to the dialogue of equality. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, because I have very many people in my life who are gay, bisexual, lesbian, or etc., that are very important people to me and mean a lot to me, family, friends, loved ones. So obviously I do not feel any kind of hatred or anything towards them. But at the same time, you have to be able to have a dialogue and a conversation without jumping to conclusions or being quick to call someone a bigot because they disagree. If they disagree from a moral standpoint on something that someone is due because they're a human being, that's one thing. If they simply disagree with something as simple as whether Lil Nas X produces good music or not, and you call them a bigot, you're an asshole, because the boy doesn't produce good music.
Right. You know, it's about the music. Like I said before, what he does behind closed doors and with who, I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. I don't lose sleep over who's doing what with who, even if, like, you know, I might not agree with whatever that person's doing. It doesn't even have to be that, but just anything. I don't lose sleep over that stuff. Like, that's not something I'm even focused on. I don't even put my energy into that. So I just thought it was funny. Like, I'm just laughing because I read the comments and I'm just like, wow, they took this sentence, a fucking sentence where I just said the only Nas I acknowledge is Nasir Jones. And they basically just took it to a whole nother, you know, thing. And it's just like they're making all these assumptions, and it's just like, okay, like, all right, I'm gonna leave the post up.
Right, exactly. Like you said, you're gonna leave the post up. It's gonna be right there.
Yep.
Exactly right. Okay, well, fellas, this was definitely a great episode. I think we covered some really awesome topics, and I look forward to releasing the different parts and we are definitely, for our listeners out there, super appreciative of your support and your interest. Please feel free, if you have not done so yet, to go on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We got constant content dropping all the time. We're definitely going to drop these links along with it. Also, Mr. PAT, our resident rapper, go ahead and release that information so they can check out your content, sir.
Yes, go to thepatchannel.com. All my social media handles is on there. And I have a ton of content, music, articles, vlogs. You know, all of it. Even the podcast, The Good, the Bad, and the Truth is on there as well. But thepatchannel.com, you can go there, and that is the hub for everything, for all my social media handles. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube also, because I have my own YouTube page. So
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check them out, folks. Yep. Great stuff there. Great content there. Mr. E-Man, Mr. PAT, thank you for a great episode, fellas. Yes. To all our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We love you.
Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We need those subscribes.
Please get those subscriptions in, folks. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. The good, bad, the truth. We out.
We out.